Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of On Deck here on FTSN. I'm Russ Morgan. Hope everybody's having a great night. We're season winding down almost here in September. Playoffs are right around the corner. A lot of tight races uh, in the AL and the NL. Tight race there in Houston, on the AL West, Houston, Seattle. Talk about that in a little bit. Tight race in the NL West is going to be exciting. Bring it down to the end too. That's very tight. The Dodgers up a game right now on the Padres, so that's going to be a great one. And I think I'm not sure if they got one more set. I know they had back to back. I don't think they play each other again. I hope they do because those were some great ball games. Now you got the Diamondbacks, got the Giants, Diamondbacks, Mariners, Phillies, Giants, Rockies. No, they don't play again, but tough one. So we got some good races in the MLB. We got some good stats too. Obviously, Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, hits most home runs in MLB history for a catcher. He's at 50 with 28 to 30 games left. So I don't know how many he gets. Maybe he gets to the 60 mark. I don't know. It's pretty exciting. Can he get to this? I think the 60 mark is definitely very doable, if not more. Will he be able to break Aaron Judge? I can't even remember how many Aaron Judge hit, but I mean, with many games, you think he could pop at least 10. We're seeing Paul Skeens have another phenomenal year. 2.07 ERA. His wins are down, but that ERA is super low. He's down 181 strikeouts. This guy's, one of the best pitchers in baseball. And he's only, 23, 24-year-old second-year player. Let me get his stats, but we're seeing some good stats there. Yankees won today, which beating up on some bad teams. Think only a game back. Let's see what the Red Sox are doing. Go O's. Go Orioles. 1-1. They're playing good baseball in Boston, though. But shoot, Paul Skeens this year is like 8.9, 2.07 ERA, 181 Ks, 0.9 for WHIP. I want to know. I know we got some people on here from the East Coast. I grew up on the West Coast, and if you don't religiously watch baseball, there's probably a lot of people on the East Coast, which I get it, who haven't seen one of the best players in recent memory, and that's Mike Trout, because of where the Angels play. I don't like this. I don't like this at all with this new screen. It's so slow. Sorry, I'm going to change this. I don't like this at all. It's looking like I'm on like a tape delay. It's bugging me so much. The thing makes it look like I'm on a tape delay when I'm looking at myself. I got to figure it out and get a better background, because that thing made it look like I was on a tape. We had the interview last week with Jabba Chamberlain, which was great, but I realized I need to try to find a better background and still be able to see my baseball, because I got my TV on the left side of me so I can still see the games, but I need the better background. So I was using some of the preset backgrounds, but I did not like, now I'm looking at myself, looked like I was on a tape delay, really slow, was bugging me. So, unfortunately tonight we're going to have to use my usual background with my my blinds, but I'm going to have to figure that out, because I couldn't take seeing my, looking at myself and seeing myself talk and then seeing my mouth move was bugging the living crap out of me. But but going on the Paul Skeens thing, I think it's a little better. But on Mike Trout, I know a lot of people on the East Coast haven't seen Mike Trout. I was lucky enough to see a lot of Mike Trout because I grew up in Los Angeles and the Angels are on every day. He's amazing, but all these people on the East Coast didn't get to see Mike Trout because the games come on at 10 o'clock unless they're playing in a different time zone. So the majority you don't get to see Mike Trout, who's one of the best players in recent memory. And the Angels just have made the playoffs once in his career. Now, are we gonna is Pittsburgh gonna do that with Paul Skeens? Because it looks like, I mean, they had no inclination to maybe contend when you got the extra wild card spot. Will they go after some players next year? Because I mean, we're seeing Paul Skeens, NL starter back-to-back years, NL Rookie of the Year. I mean, we could be seeing one of the best pitchers starts for a pitcher ever, and he's on the Pirates just wasting away in Pittsburgh there. Are they going to, go out and contend? If anybody's in there, got an opinion on Paul Skeens, definitely throw it in there if you want to throw a comment. But, I mean, he's just wasting it away. Are they going to go out and contend, or is the owner, I don't know the owner's name off top of head, content with just putting a product on the field? I mean, if you go to Pittsburgh's a rich baseball town too, rich sports town, obviously. And I've never been. It's still on my bucket list, wanting to go to was it PNC Park, which is beautiful, which everything I've heard is amazing. But I mean, they feel content. Pittsburgh had a couple years where they were okay making the playoffs, but I mean, we're wasting Paul Skeens away. We don't want to waste him away, unfortunately, like Mike Trout did in Anaheim. It is I want to do mention. I know they're the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Anaheim's nowhere near Los Angeles. They're the Anaheim Angels. I'd rather them say go back to the California Angels before they call themselves the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, because Anaheim's nowhere. They're in Orange County. They're not in LA County even. They're in a separate county. So it makes no sense. But, I mean, baseball winded down here. We're almost in September. We got some really tight races. We got a tight race in the AL East right now. Right now, the Blue Jays 77-56, 4 games up on the Red Sox and the Yankees. I mean, I think it's one of the biggest surprises of definitely in the AL. I don't think anybody was picking the Jays, and I sure as heck was not picking the Jays to be on top of the AL East at the beginning of the year. I think the one issue with the Jays, with the Blue Jays, is their is Bo Bichette, who's got the most errors in baseball, in my opinion. I think their pitching side, you got Kevin Gausman, who's looked not as good as late, who's 8-10. You got Jose Barrios, who's 9-5. You got Chris Bassett, 11-7. But I think if they get into the playoffs, that poor defense and having Bo Bichette, who's got the most errors in the MLB, the center of your defense making poor defensive plays will hurt them. But let's see what the Blue Jays are doing right now. Blue Jays down 3-1, but it's only the top of the third. Right now, tied for second, and the first wild card spot would be the Boston Red Sox, who just took 3 out of 4 from the Yankees and took the first 2 from Baltimore. 2 games up in the loss column on the Mariners. I mean, for me, Boston beats the Yankees 8 games in the consecutive games in a row. Right now, that starting rotation is looking really strong. You got Garrett Crochet, 14-5, 2.38 ERA, who could be an AL Cy Young guy, but the way Tarek Skubal's going, I don't see it happening. But if Skubal does stumble a little bit, Crochet's right there to pick it up. He's having a great, unbelievable year. You got, I think it's Byron Bello, who's looked, he had a great start for the Yankees. He's 10-6, 3.07 ERA. He's pitching tonight. Let's see what he did tonight. They're in the top of the six, 2 outs. He's gone 5, 4 hits, 1 run. And then the one surprise, the guy they signed with a big signing they got last year, Lucas Giolito, 9-2, 3.47 ERA. The other day, he went 8 innings, 4 hits, 8 Ks versus the Orioles. Crochet went 7 innings, 1 hit, 11 Ks versus the Yankees, got the win. Bello went 7 innings, 3 hits, and got the win versus the Yankees. A solid 1-2-3, but in this, I think they got a very, very dangerous lineup, young lineup. With them, with Roman Anthony, who's looking very good, with Jared Duran. Let me pull up my stats real quick. Excuse me. Jared Duran's down 256. Trevor Story's 260, but Trevor Story's looking really solid defensively at shortstop. Cedar Rafaela, 247, but his position flexibility, I don't know what they do because I've been watching the Red Sox, and if there's a Red Sox fan in there, where would you want him to play defensively? He's a good second baseman, but defensively, he's a very good defensive outfielder. And then, you got a solid catcher in Carlos Narvaez, 246. Bregman, 301. We all know what Bregman does defensively, and he brings that World Series experience and playoff experience there. You got Roman Anthony, who's 287. First base, you get Nathaniel Lowe, who had a massive hit versus the Yankees, who's 348 in his 23 at-bats with the Red Sox. But he's only hitting against right-handers. But I want to know what the Red Sox do with Cedar Rafaela because I think, you got to hold at second. Marcelo Mayer could have played, or Mayer, I think it's Marcelo Mayer. Could have played second base, but he's out for the year. What do the Red Sox do at the second base position? I think you got to play Cedar Rafaela in center field. So good defensively, but then when Willer Abreu comes back, that leaves a hole in with that there's a hole out there with you got to play Roman Anthony. Tonight they got David Hamilton, who's 1 for 2 at second base. But I think the Red Sox solid 1-2-3. I think in this playoff format, I think you need that fourth pitcher. I don't know if Dustin May has it. I really like I like them moving. I think that with moving Walker Buehler into the bullpen, giving you those long inning reliever role, I think that's really solid. I think he can give you a good 2-3 innings. He's definitely struggled this year starting this year. You have Steven Matz. Hopefully Chapman keeps on playing the way Chapman has been looking of late. I think that's a good thing. But we all know what Buehler does when the clock strikes October. He turns it to a different level. Going to right now, who's tied with the Red Sox, my Yankees, who are 73 and 60. You lose 2 out of 3 to the Red Sox. You win 4 in a row. You lose 3 out of 4 to the Red Sox. So the Red Sox definitely have the head-to-head. They have the tiebreaker. The Yankees definitely the one thing for the Yankees that's will be going good for the Yankees is they have one of the weakest strength of schedules remaining. It was like 479. You got a 4-game set starting tomorrow versus the White Sox. So Hopefully they can get the sweep again and pick up some ground there. You go to the Orioles, who've been playing a little better, playing better of late. We're playing better of late, not as much anymore. Uh, and then you get the White Sox again for a 3-game set. You get, or no, excuse me, I was wrong. You go 4-game set, then you go to the Astros and the Blue Jays. So that's going to be tough. Astros, Blue Jays, Tigers. And you still got a 3-game set against the Red Sox, but I mean they're still going to have the head-to-head. They won how many? Eight games. I don't know. This team doesn't have it. This team doesn't have it. The pitching, Max Fried, who looked phenomenal today, you got to get has looked down in the second half. Carlos Rondon has looked very good, 14-7. I mean, Will Warren. I've said it on this show before, and I'll say it again. I think both the young guys, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing. I think Will Warren could have used half a season in the minors just to get that a little more seasoning. I think now we're starting to see him get into his groove, but because of what happened with the injuries, he got moved up. I like the future of the Yankees rotation with Garrett Cole coming back next year, with Fried, with Will Warren, with Schlittler, who had another phenomenal start the other day. He's 2-2, and his ERA is 2.76. So I like the future. The bullpen's really shaky. Hopefully Ryan Yarbrough, who's supposed to be on his final rehab start, coming back here soon, be throwing him in the bullpen. Luis Gil's looking up and down. My issue is, and I think every Yankees fan issue, is Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe right now is batting 204. 204. That's not a starting. That's not a starting shortstop in Major League Baseball. I want to see, in a perfect world, this is what I want for my New York Yankees lineups. I want Ben Rice behind the dish. I want Paul Goldschmidt at first. I want Chisholm at second. I want Jose Caballero at shortstop. He's batting 281. And also what I like about Caballero is he's a pest on the base path. The guy makes stuff happen that the Yankees need. I want Ryan McMahon at third. If it goes this way, which we don't know when Judge is going to bat, if Judge isn't there, you put Bellinger in left, Grisham, and then Stanton's just batting too good to keep him out of the lineup. He's batting 313 with 17 home runs and 163 at bats. So you got to put him in there. But Austin Wells is batting 206 right now. And Anthony Volpe, I'm sorry, Aaron Boone's got it. We can't have any more time with them. That's not winning ball. I get it. They can hit a home run. They need a guy who puts the ball in play. Caballero does that. Not just what he does defensively, but he puts the ball in play. I really like what I saw on Sunday. He had a good at bat, hit a sac fly, scored a run against the Red Sox. Puts the ball in play, and that's what the Red Sox do. That they take walks, they put it in play. They're not home run or bust. But Caballero's got to play. 204 is not getting it done. They're right in the middle of a playoff race, not getting it done. So I hope Aaron Boone, Caballero should be your starting shortstop. Give Volpe some starts here and there to give Caballero a day off. Do I have faith that will happen? I do not. I think Volpe will be in there. But he struck out 5 times today. I'm a baseball guy. I'm going to tell you. Let's see what Volpe did today. I've played baseball since I was 5. Or no, he struck out twice. Okay, never mind. I was getting something. He was 0 for 5. He struck out twice in the same inning. I was about to say what's 5 strikeouts, because 3's a hat trick, 4 is a golden sombrero. I don't even know what 5 would be, but he got 2, so I'll get off that. But I hope Boone would play Caballero more because of what he brings to the team. I don't have faith that will happen. I think Boone loves him. Going to the AL Central, Tigers running the way with it. Tigers 78-56, 9.5 games up on the Cleveland, 6-4 in the last 10, all but locked up. You got Tarek Skubal. Unless something drastic happens, he's winning the AL Cy Young again. You have Casey Mize 12-4 with 3.68 ERA. Jack Flaherty 7-13 with 4.87 ERA. I think that 2-3-4 is a big hole and could be a big problem for the Tigers, where you got Flaherty, who hasn't looked great this year. You got Montero's got 9 starts. You got Reese Olson with 13 starts. That will be the big question for them. Who's the guy after Mize and Skubal, after you lose Jackson Jobe, who's starting to look pretty good before he got hurt? And in this playoff format, you need that. But they have that locked up. Now, I mean, unless something drastic, you go on a terrible losing streak, they're winning that no matter what. But, I mean, I don't know who they're going to put in after those two, because, I mean, Flaherty's been a question mark. And, after you lose Joe. Going into the AL West is pretty tight race. You've got right now you have Houston 72-60. You got 72-62. Seattle Mariners, so they're 2 games back, but it's a very close race. And I mean, in my opinion, I think this is the most complete and scary team in the AL. You got 2 very good starters in the AL on this Astros team with Framber Valdez and Hunter Brown. Valdez 11-7, 3.32 ERA. Hunter Brown 10-6 with 2.37 ERA. Also, I really like their back half of the bullpen. You got Josh Hader's got 28 saves on the year. You got Abreu, who's got 25 holds on the year. You're getting Yordan Alvarez back, who makes that lineup scary. Put him in with Altuve, with Jeremy Pena 308, and then you add the addition of Carlos Correa at the trade deadline, who's 349. That's a scary team. I think that's – go here just one second. I'm going to pull up their pitching staffs real quick for Houston and their pitching stats. And the stats from the Mariners, who won today and beat the Padres. I mean, you got Jerry Pena, 308. Christian Walker, I mean, 235, 19 home runs. Low hole 257 for Yonder Diaz. Pena's 3, Cam Smith 242. But getting Yordan Alvarez makes that lineup a lot lengthier. Going to the Mariners, who won today. And I messed that one up. But, I mean, the Mariners are right hot on their heels. And they got a really strong pitching staff, and that starts with Brian Wu, who's looked really good. But, yeah, I mean, 2 games back, 10 games over 500. The offense has some serious pop, and the ball doesn't really fly in Seattle, but it flies this year. You got Brian Wu, who's 12-7. He's got 2.95 ERA. You got Luis Castillo's got a 3.75 ERA, 8-7. Logan Gilbert, who's been out, 19 starts. George Kirby, 8-6, 4.05 ERA. I think it's what their pitching is strong. I mean, especially when it starts with Brian Wu. But the offense is looking really good for the Mariners. I mean, you got Julio Rodriguez right now, 263. Stolen bases on the year, 24. You got Randy Arozarena, 238, so it's come up of late. Cal Raleigh's 244, but he's got 50 dingers and 107 RBIs. J.P. Crawford, 261. Jorge Polanco, 252. The additions, Josh Naylor, the addition at the deadline are looking good. Josh Naylor's got 267, 5 home runs. And then Suarez, I messed up that name, 189, but the dingers are there with 6 home runs. So it's not looking like average-wise, but he's doing what they brought him over for, which was to hit home runs. Right now, going in the NL East, Phillies are still on top. Let's see what the Phillies are doing right now. Yeah, still 1-1 in that Baltimore-Boston game. Phillies are down 3-0. So the Mets are actually playing some hot baseball. Phillies right now 76-56, but 6-4 in the last 10, and they're down 3-0 right now in the top of the 5th. Have lost last 2 games. I mean, for the Phillies, I mean, you got Christopher Sanchez, who's looking like great. You lose Zach Wheeler for the year. So that's a big hit to their starting rotation. And now it features, Christopher Sanchez, 11-6, 2.66 ERA. Jesus Luzardo, 12-6, 4.23 ERA. Ranger Suarez, 10-6 with the 3.07 ERA. You get Aaron Nola to come back, who just returned. His first start wasn't great. Second start went 6. Gave up 2 runs. You have, was it Duran, who's got 7 saves, 2.35 ERA. I think with the Wheeler thing with the Phillies, I think their lineup's very deadly, but it definitely makes their starting pitching not as if you bring back Wheeler. Now we'll see what Aaron Nola can do. He was definitely struggling before he got injured. If he can get back to form, it's still a scary team, even with the loss of Wheeler. But, I mean, the offense is scary for this team. When you got Trey Turner batting 298, 32 stolen bags this year. You got Kyle Schwarber 245, but he's got 45 home runs, 110 RBIs, and his on-base percentage is 369. You got Nick Castellanos, 256. You got one of the best defensive catchers in the game, JT Realmuto, 273. He was a great defensive catcher. 246 from Bryson Stott. 267 from Bryce Harper with 21 home runs, so he's going to get going. You got Alex Baum, 284. I want to know if Phillies fans think, because Baum was on the trade deadline all offseason. Baum was out there trying to get rid of Alex Baum. Now he's batting 284, and he brings a good glove defensively. I mean, Max Kepler is a hole in the outfield. Brandon Marsh, 259. Rojos is 224. What is Harrison Bader is 288 since coming over. But I think this is, if they can get Nola back to form, to what he was, not what he was pre-injury, what he was, last year and years before, it's still a scary team. Mets right now playing really hot. Mets are, yes, they're 5 out, 71-61. Right in that wild card, I think they're third in the wild card, but 2-game heater. You bring up 2 on the Mets side. They bring up 2 young, exciting prospects, Noel McLean out of Oregon State, and then they're bringing up, I think it's Josiah Tong will be up pitching next week. But offensively, you got Lindor 264. You got 264 from Pete Alonso with 29 home runs. You have Brandon Nimmo, who is now 254. Had that walk off the other day. Third base is kind of a hole. Vientos 243, Beatty 245. I think the pitching is the one thing that's going to keep the Mets down. But I'm liking these two guys. Senga 7-5, 2.73 ERA. Peterson's 8-5 with the 3.18 ERA. Clay Holmes 11-6, 3.6 ERA. But you bring up these 2 guys. Nolan McLean's 2-0 and 12 1/3 with a .81 ERA. So you bring up these 2 guys, and we'll see what where's Mania, who's been back? What has Mania been doing? Mania is 5.01 ERA, is 1-2. But you bring up McLean, 0.81 ERA. You bring up Josh Dong, who has been tearing it up and wasn't even invited to big league camp. And he'll be pitching. I don't know what day. He's pitching against the Marlins coming up, but I don't know what specific day. Phillies, Marlins. Might be pitching Monday. I don't know. He's pitching one of these. Enough. Mets, Marlins. I'm going to try to get it because this will be an exciting. David Peterson, Herrera. Yeah. His name is Jonah Tong. Smaller righty, but he was tearing it up in Double-A and Triple-A this year. So I'll be a guy to watch. But the one thing that hasn't worked out for the Mets on the pitching side is Ryan Helsley, who has not looked great. 10.38 ERA in 11 games pitched. And he's pitched 8 2/3 innings. So that's not good. Going to the NL Central. And this is, I would say, the biggest surprise. If the Jays aren't the biggest surprise in baseball, this is the biggest surprise in baseball. Right now, the best record in baseball is Milwaukee Brewers, 83-50. And I could not tell you. I picked the Reds to win this division. I don't think anybody it was the Reds or the Cubs. I don't think anybody picked the Brewers. They always find a way to be around. And you know what? I love watching this Brewers team. They don't play the type of baseball that they play small ball. They make contact. They make contact. There's no massive superstars on the team, but you got a gritty old school manager in Pat Murphy who keeps his players accountable, and they're cruising right now. I think they're gonna get that number 1 seed. Can they keep it going? You got Sale Friedlich 2 at 97. You got Christian Yelich 271. You got William Contreras 260. You got Bryson Trang 285. Jackson Torino 276. Caleb Durbin 249, but also a guy the Yankees got rid of. Isaac Collins, who's 270, was just a guy they brought up, is having another great year. And the pitching staff is great. They throw strikes, they get it done. They play the small ball. You play baseball the way it is. You got Freddie Peralta 15-5 with a 2.68 ERA. You got Brandon Woodruff 3.10 ERA, 5-1. You got Jacob Mizorowski, who's got a 4.33 ERA, but he's 4-2. But this is not a team I would pick. But it's also I get it, MLB, and I know sports fans. Baseball managers probably got of all the major sports has the least impact on the game. But what we're seeing in Milwaukee with Pat Murphy, he has found a way to really get these guys going and have a big impact on it. Scary team to watch because they're scrappy. No big superstars, but get it done. And they put the ball in play, steal bases, get it done. Good pitching, good bullpen. Cubs 76-56, 7-3 in the last 10. Cubs right now are 3 games up in the loss column on the Padres. They're playing tonight, so that if they win, that holds. One thing I got the issue with the Cubs is the pitching. I really like their lineup. I think it's their starting pitching really gets the Cubs going. I also like Pete Crow Armstrong is a guy I really, really like. But it's their starting pitching. Going to the NL West. NL West is just like the AL West, super exciting. You got Dodgers, Padres going back and forth, back and forth. Right now, Dodgers are up game and a half, 2 games in the loss column, 76 and 57. Padres 75 and 59. I think the Padres are scrappy. They play good defense. You got good pitching. You're getting Michael King back. You have Nick Pivetta. You've got Yu Darvish, who's recently come back. Can they keep it going? You play good defense with Manny Machado, and Xander Bogaerts looking much better of late. You lose Jackson Merrill for a little bit, but they're going back and forth. We won't have another Dodgers Padres is done for the year. I want to see what the Dodgers have remaining. Dodgers Padres have remaining. So they got 3 against the Diamondbacks. And then you got 4 against the Giants, 3 against the Diamondbacks. 3 against the Pirates, 3 against the Orioles, 3 against the Diamondbacks, 3 against the Giants. Got the Phillies, Giants again, Diamondbacks, Mariners. And then the Padres right now got 3 against the Twins to end the month. Orioles, Rockies, Reds, Rockies, Mets, White Sox, Brewers, and against the Diamondbacks. It's going to go back and forth. But, I mean, Machado 288. Arise. I shouldn't have done that. Machado 288, Arise 283, Fernando Tatis 264. I really like the Freddie Fermin pickup because they had a big hole at catcher 266. I mean, you got Xander Bogaerts up to 262. The other one was looked at Ramon Laureano is 315 since his time coming over. On the pitching side, I mean, you got Pivetta, who's looking phenomenal, is 13 and 4. Dylan Cease has got to pick it up, but you get Michael King back, who was 4 and 2 before he got hurt, and that bullpen with Mason Miller, who has pitched 10 innings and he has a 180 ERA. On the Dodgers side, I think the one thing that's going to keep Dodgers back is their starting pitching, and they're definitely hurt with a lot of injuries. But I mean, you got Freddie Freeman, who's 302. Shohei Ohtani, 278, 45 home runs, 85 RBIs. Andy Paganis, 275. Mookie Betts is down here, 249. Teoscar Hernandez, 245. Will Smith, 295. I think it's the pitching that's going to keep that could be an Achilles heel for this Dodgers, where Yamamoto looked really good to start the year. He's 11 and 8. Clayton Kershaw, who's looked great and kind of resurgence since coming back that we haven't seen, which is great to see. Not as a guy who doesn't like the Dodgers, just to see a guy who likes to watch baseball. Clayton Kershaw has looked great, 9 and 2. He's 9 and 2 on the year. Glasnow's back. Snell's back, but I think it'll be that starting pitching. And what's going to happen to third base? I mean, Max Muncy is probably the worst defensive third baseman there, but you need his bat in the lineup. And right now, it's been a platoon, with Freeland, with Edner. I don't know what they end up doing at third base when comes back, because Max Muncy is a poor third baseman. But we all should be keeping an eye on the AL West. And AL and NL West, very good. Going to be very interesting all the way down. Like I predicted, I didn't think it would be a runaway Dodgers. NL West, I think those are some things you got to really watch out. And right now, that AL wild card race is tight. The Red Sox right now are tied with the Yankees, even though they got the head-to-head. So the Yankees could be up a game in the AL wild card. But I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. Please remember, like and subscribe to the network. We'll be back on next Wednesday. I'm Russ Morgan. This is On Deck here on FTSN. I hope everybody has a great night.